Greetings to everyone, and welcome to my session on references, bibliography, and citations. I'm happy to be delivering this session as part of national level workshop on research methodology and its strategies, organized by Government First Grade College, Chennarayapatna. Let me give you an outline of the contents of this session. In this session, at first, I will be briefing on the fundamental terms that we come across in reference management in academic writing. Then I shall show you some examples on citations, references, and bibliography. Later on, I will demonstrate how to install and use a software for reference management. This software is called Zotero. It is a free and open source software for managing references. Let's get started with the fundamentals. Reference management is an important activity in academic and scholarly writing. In fact, the writing and managing references are two important aspects in writing and publishing. Therefore, an author has to give equal importance for creating content as well as managing the sources from where content is borrowed. More often than not, authors find reference management a boring, tedious, and a difficult task. But with the availability of several software for managing and organizing references, reference management has become an enjoyable task. In my session, I will be demonstrating one such software. Let's get started with some of the fundamentals. Citation, references, bibliography, and further reading. These are some of the very common terms that we come across in reference management, in scholarly writing as well. A citation is a specific source that an author mentions in the body of an academic paper or a scholarly paper. It is an attribution to the source. It is an academic way of expressing gratitude to the creator for creating the source from which an author has borrowed some content for using in his or her scholarly writing. Citations always appear inside the text of a paper, whereas references refer to a list containing the bibliographic details of the sources which have been cited by an author in the text of a paper. Every source which is cited in the text of a paper should find a place in the list of references. In other words, as many citations you have in the text of your paper, so many entries must be present in the list of references. References appear at the end of the text or sometimes as a footnote on the same page on which a citation appears. Bibliography is a list of sources which an author has consulted either for getting a fundamental understanding of the concept being discussed in his or her paper or for some other purpose, but no content has been directly borrowed by the author from this source. All such sources should find entry in another list which is named bibliography. By now, you might have understood that references and bibliography are not one and the same. References are very stringent, meaning that if a source is not cited in the text of a paper, the bibliographic details of that particular source cannot be included in the list of references. Therefore, the list of references is sometimes also referred to as works cited. It contains the bibliographic details of only those sources which are cited in the text of the paper. Whereas bibliography contains the list of those sources which have been consulted by an author, but not necessarily cited in the body of the paper. Apart from references and bibliography, an author would like to give another list which contains the details of sources which the author wants readers to consult in case additional information is required for readers. Reading these sources is not critical for understanding the research problem that is discussed by an author in the paper. But consulting and reading these sources will enhance the understanding or will extend the knowledge of the readers on a particular topic. So now we have some clarity on citation, references, bibliography, and further reading. Let's find out how to decide whether a particular source should go to list of references or bibliography or further reading. Let me explain this through a flowchart. Check whether you have borrowed content or idea from a particular source. If the answer is yes, then cite it at appropriate place in the body of your paper and add the bibliographic details to the list of references at the end of your text. If you have not borrowed content, but you have been benefited by consulting a particular source, add the bibliographic details of this source to a list called bibliography. Thirdly, you have neither borrowed content nor have you consulted a particular source, but you want readers to consult certain sources in order to get extended knowledge or in order to enhance their understanding of a particular topic. Then add those sources to a list called further reading. This is how you may decide whether a source should go to references or bibliography or further reading. Let me show you some examples from an article. The parts which I have enclosed in red colored rectangles are citations which appear in the text of this paper. You may notice some difference in the first four references, first four citations, and the last two citations. You may see that et al. Appears along with the name of the author. Et al. Means and others. This paper follows American Psychological Association style, which is in short called APA style, in which citations are given generally in parentheses after the borrowed content. In APA style, et al. Is used when the number of authors is more than 2. The name of the first author only will be mentioned along with et al. And then the year of publication of the source. And here also you may notice a few citations. Let me draw your attention to one of the citations that we find here. Roberts 2000. What difference do you see between these particular citation and the other citations? The difference is the name of the author is not enclosed in parenthesis. Only the year of publication of the source is enclosed in parenthesis. Also, you notice that the name of the author forms part of the statement made in this paper. That means Roberts defined mentoring as a formalized process whereby, etc. If I remove the name of the author from this statement, the statement becomes incomplete. This type of citation, where the name of the author forms an integral part of the statement or the content, is known as a narrative citation, or sometimes also known as a signal phrase. A signal phrase or a narrative citation forms part, very much the part of the content or the text, whereas the other citations contain the name of the author and the year of publication of the source, both in parenthesis. These citations are called parenthetical citations. They appear at the end of the borrowed content. Here is a list of references arranged in APA style. You may notice that the references are arranged in the alphabetical order of the creator or the author of the source. Let me also show you a bibliography. This is a bibliography. Here also you notice that the entries are arranged in the alphabetical order of the author, of the name of the author. And here comes another list. This list is further reading, and the arrangement of entries is same as in case of references and bibliography. Therefore, we can conclude that the arrangement of entries in references, bibliography, and further reading is one and the same. Citations can be of two types. One, parenthetical citation. Two, a narrative citation or a signal phrase. This is as far as APA style is concerned. There are internationally recognized, accepted, and followed citing and referencing styles. Let me mention a few of them. American Psychological Association, APA style. Modern Language Association, MLA style. Vancouver style. Oxford style. Harvard style. Chicago. IEEE, Modern Humanities Research Association style. Turabian, an abridged version of Chicago. Apart from these internationally accepted and practiced styles, some publications, mainly journals, may have developed their own style of citing and referencing. So they are source specific, they are in-house styles followed by specific publications. If you look at the area of application or the subject areas in which styles are applied or practiced, and the citation style, you notice that American Psychological Association style is generally practiced in psychology, originally developed for publications in the field of psychology, later spread to all other branches of social sciences, including education. The Modern Language Association style is popular in case of languages, humanities, and liberal arts. And each style has some application in specific subject areas, which I have listed on this slide. As far as citation and referencing format or style is concerned, broadly, these styles can be classified into citation styles which follow author, date, page number format in citations. In these styles, citation will be given in parentheses or brackets, and the list of works cited is called references. In case of some other styles, citations will not have author, date, page number format. Instead, it will have numerical format. That means numbers will be used instead of name of the author and date of publication. Vancouver is an example of citation style which follows numerical citing pattern or style. The numbers again can be placed in parentheses or brackets, generally square brackets, or these numbers can also be placed in the form of superscript. For instance, Oxford style uses numerical citations. That means the citations will be numbered as 1, 2, 3, and so on in the order of their appearance. But the numbers will be superscripted in the text. A superscript means raised text. I can give you an example. If I consider the equation a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. In this equation, a squared, the way we write a squared, number 2 is raised above the ordinary level in order to indicate that it is a superscript. Such text, such raised text is known as superscript. So numerical citations can take one of the two forms. One, where number is given next to the text in square brackets. Two, number will not be given in square brackets, but will be given in the form of a superscript. Whichever is the style followed in numerical citing pattern, there is a key difference between the styles which follow author date system and the styles which follow numerical citing system. The key difference is author date system, citing system, will have the references arranged in the alphabetical order of the name of the author, whereas numerical citing system will have the references arranged in the order of their appearance or in the numerical order, not necessarily in the alphabetical order of the author's name. Let's go ahead. Why should citing and referencing be considered important? Citing and referencing are ethical practices. It shows the ethical responsibility of the author in expressing gratitude to the author of every source from which the author has borrowed content in order to prepare a paper. It also reflects good research or writing culture. By practicing citing and referencing, an author is imbibing good research or writing culture, also disseminating to others his good research and writing culture. Citing and referencing also helps in research impact creation. Research impact measurement is facilitated only by the practice of citing and referencing. Now coming to reference management. Reference management can be done manually or by using a software. Now, given that the present era is called the era of information explosion, voluminous information is being generated day in and day out. We have wide range of sources scattered over different sources across the web as well as in print. Therefore, manual reference management becomes tedious. It requires understanding the rules of one or more citation styles, practicing them. Of course, understanding the rules of one or more citation styles will be an added advantage in software-assisted reference management also. Nowadays, most of the authors prefer software-assisted reference management, where a software will help an author in capturing references from various sources, capturing the bibliographic details from various sources, and using them in scholarly writing or academic writing. To mention some of the software used for reference management, in the commercial category, Microsoft Word provides an inbuilt feature for managing citations and bibliography. If you have Microsoft Word installed on your computer, you will certainly have citations and bibliography feature found under References menu. RefWorks and EndNote are very comprehensive, very vast reference management software under commercial category. Under free category, Mendeley is a reference management software provided by Elsevier, a reputed publisher of scholarly content. Coming to free and open source software category, there is Zotero and Jabref. These two are very good free and open source reference management software. So Microsoft Word Citations and Bibliography Manager is a handy utility for those who do not want to use full-fledged reference management software, but be satisfied with the features available in this particular utility. So let me just take you through some of the screenshots as to how to use Microsoft Word Citations and Bibliography Manager. Here is References menu in Microsoft Word, and you may notice the cursor point here. I want to insert a citation at the point of cursor. I go to References menu. At first, I choose a style, and then I click on Insert Citation. Let me show you through the slides. Here is the list of styles. Choose one of the styles. After choosing the style, click on Insert Citation button. Add new source. A small window appears in which first you need to select the type of the source, because the bibliographic details differ from source to source. Enter the bibliographic data. One of the limitations of this feature is that the user has to enter all the bibliographic details manually. And if you click on OK button, a citation gets inserted at the cursor point. If you have some bibliographic information and an appropriate field is not visible to you in Create Source window, then you can place a check mark on Show All Bibliographic Fields, after which all the columns or fields will be displayed. You may enter the information or the content. After inserting all the citations, click on Bibliography button. You may use a template which has the heading Bibliography or Works Cited, or if you do not want any template, you can click on Insert Bibliography to insert the references. As you may notice on screen, references have been inserted in the select style. The style I have selected here is APA 5th edition. Microsoft Word Citations and Bibliography Manager, though a handy utility, has certain limitations. Number one, all the bibliographic details have to be entered by the user manually. Number two, nowadays most of the sources used by authors are available on the web. So a user would naturally expect a feature using which the bibliographic details can be automatically captured from the browser. from the page where the source is located instead of manually entering the data. So these two features are not present in Microsoft Word citations and bibliography feature. Therefore, authors need a full-fledged reference management software. So let me now demonstrate reference management using a software called Zotero. Zotero is a free and open source reference management software. It can be downloaded from www.zotero.org. In the interest of time, I have already downloaded this software. Let me proceed with the installation. Let me stop sharing this presentation and start the installation. In this folder, you see Zotero 5.0.89 setup.exe file. This is the installer file which I will be using for the installation. Installation is pretty simple and straightforward. Just double click on the installer file to launch the installation. In case you get a warning like this, you can click on run and the installer is extracting the file. Here is the first screen. Welcome to the Zotero Setup Wizard. Click on Next. Standard installation is the default selection. Click Next. It will be installed in C program files x86 in Zotero folder. Click on Install. It will take some time for Zotero to complete installation. Now, once the installation is complete, you will get Zotero Setup Wizard notification. You may notice a checkbox here, Launch Zotero Now. This means that if I click on Finish button, Zotero Installation Wizard will close and Zotero software will be launched for the first time. Finish. So when Zotero runs for the first time, in most cases, you may notice that it is installing Microsoft Word integration. There is a Microsoft Word Zotero add-in, a small add-in which gets added, which gets integrated along with Zotero to help you insert citations and generate references in your paper. You may also notice that my browser is pointing to a particular page on Zotero website. Zotero website, that is install the Zotero connector for Firefox. To help understand the steps, I have made a list of what all tasks we are going to see in the next session. Next part of the session. Install Zotero for Windows. Yes, we have installed already. Secondly, check if Zotero MS Word add-in is installed. Let us check by opening Microsoft Word. There's a word of caution here. At the time of installing Zotero, please close Microsoft Word if you have it open. Please do not keep Microsoft Word open as it will interrupt the installation of Zotero MS Word add-in. As you may noticed, I had kept Microsoft Word closed at the time of installing Zotero. Let us check whether Zotero MS Word add-in is installed. For that, I will open Microsoft Word, and I notice that at the end here, there is a Zotero menu which has certain options. These options are self-explanatory. Add or edit citation button is used to add or edit the citation. Add or edit bibliography is used to generate the list of references or bibliography at the end. And there are some more options. So step 2 is completed. We have checked whether the Zotero MS Word add-in is installed. We are now satisfied that it is installed. Let's go to the third step, install Zotero Connector. Zotero Connector is a small plugin which gets integrated into a web browser. It does not support Internet Explorer, but it supports Chrome, Firefox, or Safari. So in my demonstration, I can use either Chrome or Safari. Let me use Chrome. In order to install Zotero Connector, you need to visit zotero.org, and on the home page, you find that there is download button. This is the home page of Zotero. If you click on download, you'll come to the download page. The first download is already done. I had downloaded Zotero 5.0 for Windows, and I have also demonstrated the installation of this particular software. Now, let's install Chrome Connector. For this, I'm going to click on Install Chrome Connector button. Let me click on this. And the browser will take me to Zotero Connector page on Chrome Web Store. On the right hand side here, you have a blue button which says Add to Chrome. Click on Add to Chrome, and now click on Add Extension. Zotero Connector will be downloaded and installed in Google Chrome. It gets integrated into Google Chrome. You will get a notice like this: Zotero Connector has been added to Chrome, and you can click on the close button. If you don't see the Zotero icon here, click on the 3 vertical dots. Click on the extension icon here, and you see Zotero Connector here, but it is not pinned. So pin it. Click on the pin icon here. This extension will be pinned and it will start appearing here. Okay. So step 3 is complete. We have installed Zotero Connector, in our case, for Chrome. It can also be installed for Firefox or Safari. Let's start to understand Zotero software interface. Let me show you the Zotero software interface. This is Zotero software interface, where you have 3 vertical panes. The first vertical pane has My Library, My Publications, Duplicate Items, Unfiled Items, and Trash. My Library is an important place where you will be creating collections as per your need. By collections, I mean folders which you will meaningfully name for saving the references. Okay, let me show you how to create a new collection. To create a new collection, click on this folder icon with the plus. A small window will appear asking you for the name of the collection. Let me name this collection a sample. Click on OK, and you see that you you get sample, a folder by name sample here. I can also create any number of collections based on my need. Let's say I'm a PhD research scholar who is drafting the thesis. The references related to each chapter in my thesis should appear at the end of that respective chapter. So I want to save references in different collections chapter wise. So I can make a collection PhD thesis chapter 1. This is a collection. I can also make PhD thesis chapter 2. So on, you can make as many collections as you want. Whenever I want to save a reference for chapter 1, I click on PhD thesis chapter 1 collection, and then I will save it in this collection. Whenever I want to save reference for chapter 2, before saving, I click on PhD thesis chapter 2 collection, and then I will save it. Okay, let me now demonstrate how to add references or how to save references into Zotero. To save references, let me take an example. How to save references for documents which have already been downloaded by you and saved on your computer. In this folder, you can see the folder downloaded articles. For your convenience, I have already downloaded a few articles. But at the time of downloading, I did not have Zotero software. Therefore, the bibliographic details have not been saved in Zotero. Now I want to save the bibliographic details in Zotero. Therefore, I'm going to select all. I'm going to drag them and drop them into Zotero in the middle pane. Let's see what happens after I drop them. Zotero is trying to fetch bibliographic details for each of the articles which I have imported, which I have dropped here. You may notice that Zotero is retrieving the metadata, retrieving the bibliographic details for all the articles. It has now completed fetching the metadata or the bibliographic details for all the articles. It has successfully fetched the data. Let's see the data. For instance, I want to see the bibliographic details of the first article, Bibliographic Management Software by Salem and Faherman. If I click on that, on the extreme right, you find a pane where all the bibliographic details are displayed. You may notice that Zotero has successfully identified the type of source as journal article, the title, the authors, the abstract, name of the publication, volume number, issue number, pages, and all other details have been successfully captured by Zotero. So this is the way downloaded articles can be dropped into Zotero in order to capture their bibliographic details. And these references can be used in as many documents for inserting citations and generating references. So let's move on to the next demonstration. The next demonstration is how to save a single reference from the World Wide Web. In the first case, we already had documents downloaded onto our computer. We wanted the bibliographic details to be saved into Zotero. In this case, we shall learn how to save a single reference from the World Wide Web. So let us understand how to save a single reference from the web. For this, let me take up two examples. One, a book as a source. Two, a journal article as a source. In order to capture the bibliographic details of a book which is available online, let me go to one of the popular locations which provides information on books, that is Google Books, accessible at books.google.com. Let me take the example of a book. Let us assume that I am writing an article on reference management in scholarly writing. For that, I have made use of some content from a book which has the title Scientific Scholarly Communication. So I'm looking for the bibliographic details of this particular source. So I'm going to click on any of these results. Let me click on this result. When I click on this result, the preview of the book will load. As you may notice on screen, the preview of the book will load. You also notice a change in the Save to Zotero button icon here on the top right. The icon gets changed to book icon, indicating that Zotero has successfully detected the presence of a book on this particular page. So all you have to do is to click on this book icon in order to capture the bibliographic details of this book and save those bibliographic details in this Zotero software in sample collection. Suppose you don't want to save this particular reference in sample collection, but you want to save it in thesis chapter 1 collection. Before you save it, click on this particular collection and then come to the page on the browser and then click on this book icon. Let me click on this icon. Let's see what happens. Zotero is showing a message that it is saving the bibliographic details to a particular collection on Zotero software. Let's go back to Zotero software to check and confirm whether this reference has been saved or not. I'm here in Zotero software. You may notice that all the bibliographic details have been saved. But even then, let us check whether any important bibliographic information is not captured by Zotero. Author's name, title, abstract has been captured, but the place of publication is not captured. Place of publication is required. Therefore, let me go to the source and find out the place of publication from the book. As you may notice here, the registered company address is in Cham in Switzerland. Therefore, I will come back to Zotero and in the place column, I'm going to manually enter Cham and hit enter. So the place of publication is also entered. In most cases, Zotero successfully captures all the required bibliographic details. But it is the duty of the author to check whether all the key details have been captured by Zotero before using the captured reference in academic writing. That's about capturing the details of a book. Let's do the same for a journal article. Let me open a new tab and let me go to Google Scholar this time. Okay. Let me search for a particular article by typing its title. And here I get a result, comparison of select reference management tools by Y. Zhang, published in Medical Reference Services Quarterly in 2012. In order to capture the details of one particular source, click on the title. This will direct you to the original location. Here is the original location. And wait until all the details are loaded. Yes, now all the details are loaded. And you may notice this time, Zotero, Save to Zotero button on the top right corner has a different icon. It has a white sheet icon indicating that the source, the type of source is a journal article. So let's click on this icon, simply click on Save to Zotero button. It is saving the bibliographic details of this source again into PhD thesis chapter 1 collection on my Zotero software. Let's go to Zotero software, and now you notice that one more reference has been added in this collection. It is so easy to capture the bibliographic details of sources from various web pages, web locations. This is how a single reference can be saved into Zotero from web. Now let's see how to save multiple references in one shot into Zotero. For this, let me go back to Google Scholar and let me find out some articles on reference management software. I get a lot of results of which I choose which are most relevant for my article, the article which I am writing. I want to save all relevant article information into Zotero in one shot. Now you may notice that Save to Zotero button has turned into a folder icon, which indicates that there are multiple references on this results page, which can be saved into Zotero. Let me click on the folder icon and I get the list of all the references, and I can choose whichever reference I want to save into Zotero. So as an example, let me click on a few, 1, 2, 3, 4. I am saving the bibliographic details of 4 sources in one shot. Let me click on OK button. It starts saving the details one by one. It has completed saving the details. Let me go back to Zotero and let me find out that 1, 2, 3, and lastly 4. All the 4 references have been saved into Zotero. This is how you save multiple references into Zotero in one shot. Let's look at the next task we are supposed to do. How to insert a citation, particularly a parenthetical citation. Now you have understood how to save references into Zotero software from various sources, from downloaded articles or directly from the web. It is also possible to use identifier such as DOI of a particular article directly in Zotero by using add items by identifier option. Let us get into the writing part. I have a new Word document here. Let me write a sample article. I am writing an article on reference management in scholarly writing. And let me generate some random text in the interest of time. Let's assume that this is my article. This is the text of my article. Let me point you to specific locations from which indicate the content I have borrowed from these sources. For instance, let me mark this as the text borrowed from the first source, which is a book, Scientific Scholarly Communication. And let me also mark another part here with a different color to indicate that it is taken from a second source, which is a journal article. So let's insert a citation at the point of cursor here. I shall choose APA style for this demonstration. Look at the cursor point. This is the point where I want a citation to be inserted, and the citation should be to this particular source. The source is Scientific Scholarly Communication, authored by Silva and Vance. Let me insert citation here. I go to Zotero menu in MS Word and then click on Add or Edit Citation button. When I click on Add or Edit Citation button, in any document, whenever you are inserting the very first citation using Zotero, Zotero will ask you to choose a citation style. Let me click on Add or Edit Citation button. You may notice that a window has appeared. It is asking me to choose a citation style. This is a one-time process. Whenever you are inserting the first citation, then you need to select a style. Let me choose American Psychological Association 7th edition. Click on OK button. Now, Zotero will present a red colored rectangle in which you can type any detail relating to the source for which you want to insert a citation at this point. For instance, I can say Silva. As soon as I type SIL, you may notice Zotero is giving me matching result. I can click on this particular result and the result appears inside the box. In case you want to insert multiple citations, you can again start typing another citation. For now, let me insert one citation. So hit enter button to insert the citation. Please observe that a citation has been inserted inside the text. This is a parenthetical citation. Let me delete it. Let me show it again, but with a different option. Sometimes some people may not remember until they see the list of sources. They may not remember from which source this particular content has been borrowed. Therefore, they may not be in a position to decide which source has to be cited at this point. But when I click Add or Edit Citation, this rectangular box will appear in which I have to remember and type at least something related to a source. But if I don't remember anything until I see the list of sources, then I cannot use this view. There is a different view which you can use. Click on the red Z button here and click on Classic View. Classic View presents all the collections on the left hand side and the references saved in a particular collection on the right hand side. This helps those users who cannot remember from which source they have borrowed the information unless they see the list of sources. Now we are presented with the list of sources. I can choose whichever source is appropriate. So I click on Scientific Scholarly Communication by Silva and Vance, and then I click on OK. The citation gets inserted. But you may get a question, do I have to switch to classic view every time? Can I not make it default view? Yes, it is possible to make classic view default view. Let me show you how to make classic view as the default view. For this, come to Zotero software and go to Edit, Preferences. In Preferences, there are tabs here: General, Sync, Search, Export, Cite, Advanced. Click on Cite tab, and again you have two tabs: Styles, Word Processors. Click on Word Processors, and at the end here you have Use Classic Add Citation dialog. Place a check mark for this option and click on OK, and then minimize Zotero. Now let me do the same again. This time if I click on Add or Edit Citation button, Zotero will directly present to me the classic view instead of the red rectangular box. Click on the required source and click OK. You can notice that this is a parenthetical citation. When I say parenthetical citation, citation is inserted at the end of the text, after the borrowed text, in brackets. Both author's name and year of publication are inserted in brackets. This kind of citation is called parenthetical citation. But sometimes, particularly while presenting the review of literature, sometimes instead of conventional parenthetical citation, an author may want to use a narrative citation. For example, Zhang in brackets 2012 argues that use of reference management software enhances the efficiency of author in scholarly writing. This is a statement which I have borrowed. This is a statement which I have borrowed from a source which is authored by Zhang. This is the format, Zhang 2012. This is the format in which I want my citation. This is not a conventional format, so I have to edit the format of citation. So let me insert the citation at this cursor point. Please note that I am going to insert the citation in the beginning of the sentence rather than the end of the sentence. Click on Add or Edit Citation. And here is the source by Zhang. Comparison of Select Reference Management Tools by Zhang. After clicking on this source, do not click OK. If you click on OK button, then Zotero will insert the citation in default format. What is the default format? The default format is parenthetical citation. I don't want parenthetical citation. I want to change the format. Therefore, instead of clicking on OK, click on Show Editor. Click on Show Editor. An editor box will appear in which you can edit the citation, modify the citation, whichever way you want. So what is the format in which I want the citation? I don't want the opening bracket before the name of the author. I remove it. I will remove this comma after the name of the author. And just before 2012, I'm going to place an opening bracket. This is the format in which I want the citation. Now click OK, And you notice that a Zotero citation is inserted in narrative format. This is called a narrative citation or a signal phrase. So let's assume that we have inserted all the required citations. Now it's time to insert the list of references at the end. I'm going to type references, and here at the cursor point, I have to insert the references. Click on Add or Edit Bibliography button, then both the sources will be inserted. So references you have inserted. It is very easy to manage references in academic writing using Zotero. This is the way Zotero can be used. The next task is to know how to import references. Let's assume that you already have some references manually formatted in Word. You did not know about Zotero or any other reference management software, but you had an understanding of the rules of APA citation style. Therefore, you have manually formatted the references in your Word document. But now you want to use those references in multiple documents. Instead of copying and pasting, you can import these references into Word, into Zotero from Word. For this, all you need to do is, first let me show you the Word document. I have an example document here. This is an example document which contains manually formatted bibliography. This is a manually formatted bibliography. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I have a few references. I want to import these references into Zotero. Let me make a new collection to make it easy for you to understand. I'm trying to import reference from a Word document into Zotero. It is not directly possible, but we can use a tool to import the manually formatted references from Word to Zotero. So let me make a new collection, import manually formatted. Click OK. I want to import to this particular collection. In order to import manually formatted references or use other imported formats, use other import methods, it's very easy. Simply go to Google and type importing formatted bibliography. Hit enter. And the first result you get, in fact, the second result you get here is importing formatted bibliographies, an article in Zotero website. Click on this and you will get the details as to how to import. Okay, our case is plain text citations and bibliographies. For this, you can use anystyle.io website. You can go to anystyle.io website. And this is a reference parser. It will read the references manually formatted. It will identify the type of source as well as the different bibliographic elements. All you have to do is paste your references in this box. So let me open this and copy the references and paste them here, and it has identified 9 references. click on parse 9 references. It will identify the different bibliographic elements in each reference. If you want to edit it, you can edit it, but I don't think in this case editing is required. You can scroll down and you can save it in any one of these three formats. I prefer BibTeX format. So I click on BibTeX and a save dialog will appear. I'm going to save it on the desktop as anystyle.bib. Save it. Save it. And here you have on the desktop anystyle.bib file. Zotero has an option to import references from a variety of sources. So I go to File menu and I click on Import option. You want to import from a file? Yes. You want to import from a BibTeX file? Click on Next. Zotero will ask you to choose the file. The file is on the desktop with the name anystyle.bib. Click on the file and click Open. You want to copy files if there are any? Yes. Place imported collections and items into new collection. If you want, you can use a new collection, but there's already a collection. Let me uncheck this. Click on Next. And you may notice that 9 items have been imported. Finish it. And here you get the items. This is how references manually formatted in Word can be imported. So in the interest of time, let me conclude my session by saying that it is very easy to import references, single reference, multiple reference from various web locations by using Zotero. It is also easy to fetch metadata or the bibliographic information for the documents which have already been downloaded by the author and saved on the computer. Just drag and drop the documents into Zotero. Zotero will automatically fetch the bibliographic details. So any author today can use reference management software such as Zotero in order to easily organize and manage the references. It is also possible to export the saved references into other bibliographic management software. Export option is also available. In the possible time, in the allotted time, I was able to demonstrate the installation and basic usage of Zotero reference management software. Thank you for listening to me, and with a particular request, with a specific request to all of you to inculcate the habit of cite while you write, not cite after you write. I bid adieu to all of you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you very much for the organizers, Government for